What if I told you there's a secret method to make the man you're dating nervous? What if I also told you you can do this without even saying a single word to him directly? If that sounds impossible to you, don't worry. On today's show, we're going to be discussing 5 secret ways to make him worry about losing you. That way, the man you want can have a sense of urgency when it comes to you and his relationship with you. The very first point of the day is going to be being a conversationalist. So you're here and your friend is here. The reason we want it like this is because we want you in your element. We need you with some level of familiarity, okay, in the environment that you're in, because you're likely going to be going to a new spot. You're going to be around people that you don't know, and we need some element that is familiar to you in order to make you comfortable and get you on your way to being a conversationalist, okay? You're going to see where this is all going and why this is so important. Your friend doesn't necessarily have to be single or anything like that, but you want your friend to be one of those friends that hypes you up. When you want to get hyped up and you want to dance to Sexy Red, this is the friend that you bring, okay? There's a very important reason for that. Why? Because what's naturally going to happen is she's going to go around the party, even if you're a shy girl, and she's going to mingle with other people. So there's going to be people around here, people around there, people over here, people over here. There's going to be people everywhere, okay? And what's going to happen is, assuming your girl is fairly attractive and you're a fairly attractive woman, at some point throughout the night, there are going to be at least a group of 2 men who come and decide to have conversation with you and your friend, okay? Your guy is there also, okay? But your friend is there. This is like your extra support, because assuming at this party or event, your guy friend, right, or the guy that you're dating also knows people. Remember, we want you to have your safe haven, so you're not just going to this party, with not knowing anyone except for him. Now, you and your friend are talking to another group of men. See, this is why we want to structure it in a very particular way. We don't want to make it seem like you're veering off and just talking to random people. But when you're with a friend, you can kind of pass it off as, oh, my friend wanted to talk to these people. Now, remember, there's a whole bunch of people at this party here, okay? A whole bunch, right? But your man is also at this party. So your man is here, right? And let's say this is one of his friends. In this process of your man being over here, he's conversating with his own people and gathering around his own people. What's going to happen is during this process, he's going to have a direct line of sight at this party, right? Because obviously he came with you, or you came with him, or you guys were planning to meet up. And so he knows you're there. He's aware of your presence there. Obviously, you're going to spend some time together throughout this party, but you're not going to spend the entire night together throughout this party. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to start using this opportunity to get some things done for yourself here. And this is why this is called conversationalist. See, you're naturally inclined to become anxious when you become separated from the guy that you like. And your natural inclination when you really like a guy and you're at an event or you're at a party is to say, let me hurry up and finish this conversation so I can run back to being by my man's side, okay? Naturally, what happens is you want to be right here on his hip, attached to him, right? This is where you want to be if you really like this guy. But this is the problem. Remember, in today's show, we want him to worry about losing you, okay? We don't need you attached to his hip where he doesn't have to feel any nervousness or anxiety that someone else might want you or want to be with you, okay? We want to show him that it's possible for him to lose his grip on you, lose his control over you emotionally and physically. So we want to make sure, even though this might be nerve-wracking for you and you might be thinking, oh gosh, I feel like he's watching me. I feel like him and his friends are talking about me and they're seeing that I'm talking to these other guys and they're probably thinking maybe I want these other guys. Who cares? Okay? Because what's going to happen is in that anxiety, he's going to be forced to make a choice here. He's going to say to himself, damn, I am a guy and I know how guys think. I also know we're at a party, everyone's getting drunk, everyone's off the Casamigos and the Henny, Sexy Red is playing. They're not coming up to talk to my girl and her friend just to twiddle their thumbs. They're trying to see what's up with my girl and her friend, and I'm probably gonna have to step in here because this conversation is going a little bit too well. See, what you don't wanna make the mistake of doing is pulling yourself out of this area here without him having to make a move towards you. Now, I know that this advice is going to sound toxic in the beginning because you're going to be thinking, Tomisin, you want me to flirt with other guys in front of my man and you think that's going to help my situation? I do not want you to overtly flirt with another man in front of your man. That's not what I'm advising you to do. What I'm advising you to do is be a conversationalist, okay? So meaning when this guy and his friend comes up to you, don't be in a hurry to rush this conversation and get back to your man's side. Be open to having a conversation. If he's asking you questions, you answer the questions, you have questions for him back, okay? Be like a normal human being, right? Act as if you're actually interested in what he's saying, okay? And actually have a conversation with him and amongst the group, okay? This is why I said it's very important to have that friend with you that can hype you up. This friend is more than likely going to be a little bit more outgoing than you. This friend is going to be more than likely more willing to have conversation, knowing how to keep conversation, and this is what's going to help you keep the ball rolling. Are you following what I'm saying, okay? At some point, he's going to say to himself, there's a little bit too much giggling and laughing going on here. There's a little bit too much interaction going on here. There's a little bit too much smiles, like they're all having a good old time, and I came with her. This is my girl, okay? This is what is good. We want men in your life that like you and want you. We want them to feel jealousy at some points, okay? A little bit of things is good sometimes, even in small doses, because we want him to recognize how much he wants you. We also want him to recognize how much other men also want you. We want him to see that, not just, imagine that in his mind because he thinks you're an attractive person. This is the point where he starts getting subconsciously nervous about everything he hasn't been doing, thinking to himself, I wonder what these men have to offer her. Right? See, because a man who's actually been doing his job in the relationship, right? Doing what he's supposed to be doing and taking care of you in every way that he can and putting his best foot forward. When he sees this, it's not going to make him as nervous as a man who hasn't been doing his job. If he knows he hasn't been putting his best foot forward, then in his mind, he's nervous that, hey, these men might offer her something that I haven't been able to offer her. These men might be able to give her something that I haven't been able to give her. We want him nervy, thinking about what haven't I been doing for this woman? How haven't I been putting my best foot forward? How haven't I been giving her what she needs in our relationship? Once his wheels start turning that way, what are we doing? We're creating a sense of urgency in this man, okay? A sense of urgency that, hey, I better go get my girl. I better go pull her out of this conversation. I better go be interesting and have conversation with her. I better be the one to get her back on my arm instead of waiting her to come to me like a sad little puppy. So number 2, you're gonna be showing men your DMs. So we want to give you some techniques that you can use that don't make you a toxic person and also don't make you look horrible, but give him that same kick in the pants, okay? So the reason I want you to show him your DMs, and you're gonna be showing him very specific DMs, not just all of your DMs, all right? Don't get nervous here. And on your IG, obviously you post pictures every now and again, and you look good and things like that, things of that nature. So you're gonna have men that message you every now and again. So you have men that message you every now and again. They put heart eyes, they say you're beautiful, and in some cases you're gonna have men that message you some weird messages, okay? And when I say weird messages, I just mean messages that you're just like, I would never respond to this in a million years. So what you're gonna do is, in the process of you having conversation with him, you're gonna show him these weird or strange messages, or just messages from guys just shooting their shot at you that you think are funny. You're gonna use this as an opportunity to make a joke out of some of the DMs that you got lately in the past couple of weeks. And this is gonna serve a couple of purposes. And the main purpose here is for him, now that he's able to see your messages, he can now visualize how many men are actually standing around you and wanting you and desiring you. Okay, so remember, before it was you at a party. Now he's able to visualize how this group of men here are all looking at you and trying to get access to you, okay? They all want access to you. They all want to be with you. They're all messaging you. They're all even saying some very weird stuff to you. Now, this is why I want you to present it a very specific way. When you're showing him your DMs, you want to be showing him for the purpose of not flexing. I'm showing you because this is something we can laugh at. See, when you come at it from a lighthearted place, it doesn't seem like you're flexing, and it also makes it seem like, hey, I'm showing you this because you're on the inside, okay? And guys can recognize that. You're not going to show a guy your DMs that isn't the guy you're talking to. The purpose of you showing him your DMs is because these aren't the guys you want, and the guy you want is the guy you're showing your DMs to. Are you following what I'm saying? Now, very important, when you show this guy your DMs, you want to make sure that the messages you're showing him don't make you look bad, okay? Meaning, you don't want to be showing him messages, right? Let's put an X here. No messages you responded to. Why? Because we don't want to start an argument here. We're not trying to get you in a worse position where he thinks you're talking to multiple other guys and not him. The messages you want to show him are messages that you haven't responded to and don't plan on responding to. This is great. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a bonus tip when you do this, okay? Right? And you're showing him your messages. A little bit of a bonus tip is if these guys have any sort of clout, this is going to sound toxic, or status, or money. This is a bonus, right? If they're verified, even more of a bonus, right? This is great. It allows him to see firsthand your messages are flooded any day of the week. Any day of the week. He could lose you to one of these famous, clouded up guys with money that are messaging you on DMs. Even if, and this is the thing, it's meant to be a silly thing, okay? So when I say it's meant to be a silly thing, don't think to yourself, oh my God, I'm waiting for a DM from Drake because that's the one that's really gonna hurt him when I show him. It can be anyone. Even if the guy's disgusting and ugly and he doesn't even look rich, but he's flexing fake money, it's still you're showing him the DMs for the purpose of laughing at the situation, okay? So it's still going to be funny regardless, or you're still gonna do the purpose regardless of whether it's Drake DMing you or some random guy who looks like, you know, a pack of cigarettes, okay? Like, it doesn't really matter how amazing or not amazing this guy is. I'm just saying it's a bonus if you can show him that, right? Because that's going to trigger his ego. When he sees a guy who's verified in your DMs, he's gonna say, oh, who's that guy? Like, he probably don't have no money. He probably ain't doing, he's probably a bum. That dude a bum. Why he messaging you? So that's what you like, huh? You like bums, right? You're not responding. So he can't even play the card as if you're interested. You're not, because obviously you're showing him the message because you don't plan on responding. But it hurts his ego all the same. And that's what we want in this scenario. We want him to feel it. We want him to say to himself, damn, how many guys be messaging? Every day they message you? Do you want him to say to himself, that same guy messages you every single day and you still don't respond? And have him thinking to himself, damn, these motherfuckers on her ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it starts to light a fire under these guys, even though you might not think it's that serious, even though you might not think, oh, he probably doesn't care because he's probably playing it super cool. You want to take this opportunity to show men. Obviously, not all of you are going to be in the exact same situation. So some of you might be better suited doing number one. Some of you might be better suited doing number two. And some of you might be better suited doing number 3, 4, or 5. I want all of the points here to be options that you can choose to utilize for yourself and figure out which one best suits you in your situation. If you're someone that you already know you get a whole bunch of DMs, well, this is your opportunity to show him all of your DMs. I'm smacking everything. This is your opportunity to show him some of your craziest, silliest DMs from guys. If you're someone who you like to go to more events and you have more girlfriends that can hype you up, then you're gonna use method number 1. Does that make sense to all of you so far? Okay, now we're on 3. Because you wanna know what happens when you go out with the girlies, okay? You're more than likely to post pictures, okay? And when you post pics, right, he sees you, okay? He notices you, right? When he notices you and he sees you posting pics, this is very good for you, all right? Because what happens is, see, guys get in a position where you're here and he's here and you're attached at his hip, right? In person a lot, okay? So in person, he kind of gets used to you after a while. He gets used to being able to see you. I put it the slang way. He gets used to being able to see you in the context of you're You're on his arm, you're here, you're with him. He doesn't have to worry about you. He doesn't have to worry about who's talking to you. He doesn't have to worry about who's flirting with you. There's no real anxiety related to you being right on his arm with him in person, right? Especially when he's hanging out just you and him. But remember, in today's show, we want to give him an opportunity to actually worry about losing you. So in order for us to do that, we have to separate your man from you. We want to give your man an opportunity to see you in a version of you, or in a perspective that is not I am with her and she is my girlfriend. We want to give that man a perspective of, oh my gosh, look how beautiful she looks, from a perspective of seeing you post pictures, see you be out with the girls, see you having a good time, seeing you do things other than just being right by his side all the time, okay? Because this can start to make guys feel complacent and make them feel like they have you in all the capacity that they want you. Like they don't have to make changes, like they don't have to make adjustments, like they can just keep doing what they've been doing and still keep getting that same amount of access to you and not have to worry about anything, okay? Not that it's bad that he should feel safe with you, and not that it's bad that he should feel comfortable around you and being with you, but we don't want this process to be an all the time process. We don't want this to become something where he always feels like he's always gonna have access to you for the rest of his relationship and never gonna have to worry about it. We want him to continuously be able to see you in different aspects and in different ways, and see different sides of you, especially the side of you that is more in line with being free, going out, having fun, because especially when he's not with you, when you're not by his side, he can't guarantee what you're doing. He doesn't know who's talking to you. He doesn't know, what friend group you might be going with or who you're going to meet there. He doesn't know what guys are going to come up to you. He can't, even if he texts you the entire night, he can't guarantee that he knows everything you're doing. And remember, this is your opportunity to make him worry about losing you. So the guys get the most nervous when you start having fun and enjoying yourself, going out and doing things for you, and no longer being right by on his hip, especially if that guy hasn't been doing right by you in the relationship with you. All of a sudden, now he starts thinking to himself, maybe I need to make adjustments, maybe I need to make this change, and maybe I need to make that change in order to continue getting access to her and not put myself in a position where I lose out on her. Now, I know some of you are saying to yourself, well, Tomisin, I am not really an outgoing type of girl. I don't have friends, and I don't do things other than stay in the house. Well, this is the unfortunate part about that. If you stay in the house and you don't do anything with your life, you are never going to make men anxious or worried about losing you, because the reality of it is they will never. Are you following what I'm saying? So if that is your problem, you kind of have to solve your problem by solving the root of the issue. And solving the root of the issue is finding things that you can do and go out and do with friends, that you can be out, that the guys can actually have a second to think to themselves, wow, I am seeing how attractive she is. I'm seeing how much other guys want her. Number 4 is pretty funny, and some of you might think this is a little bit toxic. It's okay. If you're listening to this show and you're thinking, I actually do want this guy that I'm dating to have a sense of urgency. I do want him to fear losing me, because if he doesn't start acting right, I am going to walk out the door, but I do want to kind of give him a kick in the pants to realize I'm about to walk out the door without actually walking out of that door. So you're probably going to be most likely in a position where the guy that you're dating is not giving you his best, not putting his best foot forward in that relationship, okay? And you want him to get a kick in the pants and actually start doing that. So one of the things you're going to notice with guys that are in that mindset is they're going to kind of be aloof with you. And what I mean by aloof is they're going to show up some days for you, and then some days they're not going to be present. Are you following what I'm saying? Meaning he's going to text you some days, he's going to call you some days, and some days he's not going to be there. So what is happening here, and this is what I kind of want to break down for you in a visual so you can kind of understand everything that I'm talking about. So from a guy's perspective, he's going to be seeing it as a very simple equation like this. So he's going to be seeing it as when he's present, big smiley face for you. Okay, this is you. When he's absent, big sad face for you. Okay? And the reason I'm breaking it down like this is because I kind of want you to understand what you're going to reverse to understand how we're going to make this, turn this into him losing you. So because he is imagining in his mind, when he's present, you're happy, and when he's absent, you're sad. See, here's the thing. When he gets busy or ignores you, just doesn't put you up as a priority. He's assuming, because he's going to be absent, that you are very sad. Why are you gone? Where are you going? I'm so sad. Where have you been? Okay. So he's always going to come back from being busy or ignoring you or just putting you on the back burner saying, hey, you know, my bad. I was busy. My phone was off for an entire week. I was busy doing a whole bunch of work projects. I was busy hanging out with friends. I was busy with my other girlfriend. Whatever it is, he's going to give an excuse because he's making the assumption you've been so sad watching paint dry since the last time that he decided to speak to you. What's going to happen now is, instead of him coming back, and see, this is the mistake you've been making. When he comes back, you're like, I've been melting since you didn't talk to me, and it's been agony every day that you didn't message me, and I get that you've been busy, but I've just been so sad without you. What you're gonna do when he comes back and he messages you after being busy or, let's just say, ignoring you, is you're gonna be happy. I'm not saying what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, hey, I love when you ignore me. I love when you don't text me. I love when you don't message me. When he comes back after being busy or putting you on the back burner, what you're gonna do is you're gonna be like, oh, how long has it been? It's been 2 weeks I didn't message you because I was doing a work thing and then my phone was, you know, dead for the other week. And I apologize for that, which is exactly why I'm apologizing now, because I know you've been so sad. You've been so sad since the last time that I spoke to you. You've been watching paint dry and you've been in agony since the last time I spoke to you, right? That's the equation that's going on in his mind. So he's going to approach you from the very beginning like, I know you've been so sad since the last time we spoke. What you want to do is you want to start reversing that, okay? You want to not allow him to get that validation of thinking that you've been sad since the last time you've messaged him, or thinking that you've been counting the days since the last time you messaged him. So when he comes back after his time away or after putting you on the back burner like he does because he has no fear of losing you, when he comes back this time and he says, sorry, my phone's been dead for the past week, you say, wait, what? Has it been a week? I'm confused. Has it actually been a week since the last time we spoke? Are you sure? He's gonna say, what? What do you mean? Yeah, it's been a week. The last time I messaged you or texted you was Monday, and today's Monday. You're telling me you don't know it's been a week? Has it really been that long? Or are you telling me you don't remember the last time we spoke, right? Are you telling me you haven't been counting the days since I've been ignoring you or putting you on the back burner? Are you telling me that you somehow been able to enjoy your time to the point where you haven't even noticed that it's been a week since the last time we've spoken? And you're actually going to take away a lot of the luster and a lot of the validation that the guys have been getting from you, being able to come back to you after ignoring you or being too busy for you, because that feeling that they get, that hit of dopamine, like they're the most important thing on earth when they walk away from you or they go and do something else, and then when they come back into your life, you're in agony, that's dopamine, okay? Meaning that's a good feeling there. That's a positive feeling, and I know it sounds horrible, but that's a positive feeling. That's validating for them, that they're the most amazing, awesome person in the world. That's why this equation is like this. He starts to think, well, I don't have to fear losing her. When I'm present, she's super happy. When I'm absent, she's super sad. When I'm busy and ignore her, she's super sad. And so when I'm busy and ignore her and she's super happy and she doesn't even notice that I've been gone, that's super concerning for me. I feel like if she's not focused on me not being present, if she's not in agony, if she doesn't even seem to care, then she's probably seeing or attached to someone else. Guys feel punished by indifference. Hatred, they don't feel punished by. They just feel like you're crazy and they love that. They wank off to that, okay? When you're indifferent, that's when they actually start feeling that punishment. So this is kind of another version of that, a little bit of a lighter version of that you can use to give the guys that you're in a relationship with or a situationship with a little kick in the pants that, hey, you're actually not that special. You're actually not that amazing, and I actually don't even remember who you are, okay? You want to make it seem like when guys disappear from your life, in this particular case, like you stop remembering who they are. Like they actually start, like you forget the memories you've had with them, you forget that they even existed. Why? Because it brings men back down to earth, and it actually puts him in a position where he says, gee, maybe I shouldn't step away for weeks at a time thinking that you're going to be in agony waiting for me on hand and foot for me to come back, right? Maybe I should actually start treating this relationship with a little bit more respect and be a little bit more present, realizing that if I disappear, you're probably going to forget about me. Okay. And I know that that sounds a little bit toxic, and that sounds like, toxic advice to give you to say, hey, make someone feel like you've forgotten about them. But here's the thing. When a guy is not worried about losing you, when a guy is not worried about ever being in a position where he can't access you, that's the moment he starts to mistreat you. So unfortunately, if you're going to turn these tables on its head and you're going to flip this back in your favor and you want to have the power, you're going to have to make him recognize that he has no power over you. Unfortunately, relationships are like war. Everyone's battling for power. So when a guy has so much power over you that he's no longer worried about anything and he has no sense of urgency, you have to steal that power back by reminding him he has little to no power over you. That's the only way you're going to convey the message. This is the fifth and actually one of the most important points that I want you to pay attention to, okay? You're going to make the mistake of thinking to yourself, okay, I'm in this relationship. I know my guy likes me. I know he thinks I have a huge dump truck, and I know he thinks I'm amazing. So you're going to forget to be as caring about your look or caring about, your aesthetic as you were if you were going on a first date with that same guy, right? Keeping up with yourself is so important, especially if you're in a situation where you want him to worry about losing you. Let me explain this to you in a visual that you can better understand, okay? So let's say you and your guy are walking down the street here, okay? And let's say this is the street, this is the road here, okay? And you and your man are right here. And you guys are walking down the street going this way. Now, when you walk down the street, this is why it's so important to keep up with yourself. As you go out in public with your man and you go out to public places, you go out to gatherings and you keep up with yourself, whatever that means for you. I'm not telling you got to wear a red blazer. I'm not telling you got to wear mini skirts or 6-inch heels. Wear what you feel like you look good in. If you have a goth look, wear your fishnets and your goth makeup, okay? If you like to look like a tomboy, wear your tomboy outfit with your oversized t-shirt, okay? If you like to look like, I don't know, whatever it is, you like to wear tight jeans, wear tight jeans. You like to wear a mini skirt, wear that. Whatever you're into, you wear what makes you feel good. Now, as you're going along town, right? Riding around town, walking down the street, doing things, right? Just living life with him. There are going to be other men that exist in this world, okay? You're not in a vacuum, right? So as the other men are existing, right, down this street, you're gonna notice that when you're keeping up with yourself, you're gonna start getting a lot of eyes, okay? All of these men with their eyes, right? Because they're hungry hyenas, they're on the hunt, they're single, and they see your massive dump truck. They see your beautiful face. They see that you're a 10 out of 10, and all of their eyes are all pointed in your direction, looking at you, trying to see what's up with you, trying to see what that dump truck do, trying to see what that mouth do. So, as you walk down this street with your man, you got all these pairs of eyes looking at you. Now, this guy here that you're trying to make worry about losing you also has his own pair of eyes. And he can take notice and observe that all of these men are looking at you, okay? He's a guy too, so he knows how guys think. When he sees you look good, yes, he knows you look good, but remember, he can start to forget how good you look when you've been looking good all the time, all right? Or when he started to become used to you being around all the time. When you go out to public places, and this is where it's so important, when you go out to public places, he gets an opportunity to actually see firsthand, great, yeah, you think she's attractive, but so does everyone else. In fact, to the point where all these guys are hungry hyenas on the hunt and on the prowl for your woman, right? And this is where the ego starts to kick in, because he starts to say to himself, they all want what I have. It's mine. And they start to beat on their chest, I, big, strong caveman, get away from my things. You understand what I'm saying? And so when he starts to get in that mode, now you've given him a little bit more urgency. Now you've lit a little bit of a fire underneath him. Are you following what I'm saying? Because any natural man who likes you and wants you and is in love with you or wants to be in a relationship with you can recognize, trust me, you're thinking guys don't recognize it. They know, they see, they're men. Men know how other men are thinking. They know the looks that other men give when they're eyeing down your girl, even if they don't say anything. So then when these men recognize, when your man, I should say, recognizes this, this is a subconscious kick in the pants and reminder that, hey, you better make sure you put your best foot forward. If you do not put your best foot forward, there are all these hungry hyenas lurking in the shadows, ready to take an opportunity at your girl, okay? And it's good. We want that for you. I know you're thinking, well, isn't that toxic that all these guys are going to want me and that's what's going to make him have a kick in the pants? Unfortunately, that's how the world works. Men only really recognize your value when they recognize how easily you can slip through their fingers. Are you following what I'm saying? And they know how easily you can slip through their fingers when they see how much you are desired by other people. Because it becomes very easy for someone to take something from you when everyone knows it has value and they're hungry to get it. It's a lot harder to have someone take something from you when nobody really recognizes its value, okay? So you want to always keep making sure you're keeping up with yourself so that when you go out, when you're out with him, when you're out and about, even just going to the grocery store, you can always be attracting eyes. Now, obviously, based on your aesthetic, you're going to attract different types of guys, right? It's not really about attracting everyone. We just want you to still be drawing in eyes in your relationship with him. That way he can continue recognizing that other men want you, other men desire you, and other men will try you, okay? Right? And I mean try you in the sense that they want to try and shoot their shot at you.